Chairwoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Jasser, thank you for your service on the Commission. And for several years, the Commission has argued that Egypt should be placed on the country of particular concern list when it comes to the human rights situation there. What headway do you see that we're making in that? What progress? And you also recommend about the disbursement of aid that we were talking about, that the U.S. should refuse to certify the disbursement of our military aid to the Egyptian armed forces. We've already seen many Gulf nations pledge sums of money that dwarfs our $1.3 billion. Do you worry that if we cut off aid, Egypt will get that money elsewhere? We hear that a lot when we talk about conditioning our aid and leveraging our aid, and that we would lose whatever leverage we have left, and these human rights abuses will continue. So if you could address that one as well. And would you favor an approach in which we transition the foreign military assistance money that we give to economic support funds, in which that money could still go to Egypt, but would go to building up civil society, democracy promotion programs, some other security programs that Egypt would need in order to maintain its stability and security? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair Ros-Lehtinen, and appreciate the opportunity. There's no doubt, as we designated Egypt as a CPC in 11, 2012, and 13, it has not only not improved, it has continued to worsen. So not only does it deserve that designation, but 2012, especially under Morsi, demonstrated significant strides backwards, and this is why you saw in Revolution 2.0 in Egypt 10 times more demonstrations of people against that government than you saw in the first revolution. And as a result of the criteria by which our Commission works in designating CPC status, Egypt fits every one of those as far as specific targeting and egregious offenses of religious freedom. As far as the aid is concerned, I believe, as you mentioned, there can be 90 days review in which that aid doesn't become a lever that you can only pull once, and that is a constant measure of the success or failures that that society is making. If you use, and this is one of our primary criticisms of the current approach of the State Department, is that often, as was mentioned by Chairman Smith, because we were so late and because then it was waived in 2011, 2012, the certification was waived, there's specific benchmarks that was legislated by this body that Egypt should meet in elections and in human rights, et cetera, that it has not met. And when it was ready to decertify that funding, when we should have with the Brotherhood, it did not happen and it was waived. And now it appears when we're doing it in October 2013 that we're somehow rewarding the Brotherhood. And this is why we have to get the timing right, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't link that to civil society progress and methods in which we link it every 90 days to progress on the ground that protects women's groups, that protects religious minorities, shows that some of these cases that we've highlighted in my written testimony are actually being released, and we have a program in which members of Congress can identify individuals in jail that they can then promote as being examples of how Egypt and other countries can fix themselves.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your work.
Thank you.